The story kicks off in a world going through some seriously weird stuff, like a giant abalone and a tree with massive roots, not to mention cracks and vines just falling from the sky. Meanwhile, at Shenwu High, a crowd is gathering for some prime time drama because the most popular girl in school looks like she's about to dump her boyfriend. The tea is piping hot, and the rumor is she was only dating him out of pity since she's heading to an elite university and he got left in the dust with no college plans. Then, a guy named Fang Yi pops up in the crowd, looking totally confused by all the sudden attention on him. Right on cue, the redhead starts speech. She says she's thought about it, and their relationship is just not realistic. She continues her little monologue, claiming that high school romances always fizzle out and they need to snap back to the reality that they're just not a match. With an ice-cold stare, the young woman finally ends it all and warns him that it's impossible for him to win her back, no matter what he tries. The crowd around them wonders why he isn't saying anything, guessing the shock must have totally broken him. At that, his ex brags about being the most popular, and the peanut gallery agrees he was way out of her league. To everyone's surprise, the guy responds with a simple, "Oh, okay," and casually tosses something away. Faced with this, the redhead is left completely stunned, unable to process his reaction. He then turns to leave and the girl calls after him, annoyed, but he doesn't even give her the time of day. The main character glances back and coldly asks if she needed anything else. Furious, she yells that it doesn't matter what trick he's pulling because they are never, ever getting back together. With a smirk, the guy gives her a look that's all smug confidence. Then he tells the popular girl not to kid herself because he's got way bigger fish to fry right now. At this, the red is completely speechless and has no idea what to say to her ex. The people around them are also shocked by the young man's attitude as he walks away. But he's thinking that nobody there has a clue that the world is about to turn to ash. Because this guy came back from a future disaster, and to him, she's just some stranger from another lifetime. With that, the MC keeps walking, not caring about anything else. He strolls on, thinking that popularity and reputation don't matter anymore, because the world is about to change. The real crisis on the horizon is for all of humanity, not just for him. It all started the night before when he remembered a brilliant light shattering. In his memories, he sees fragments of a future with a blood moon and a raging sea. The guy recalls flashes of lightning and a bizarre monster attacking a city in ruins. With glowing red eyes, he processes these terrifying memories of the future. Soon, the age of cultivators will arrive, and the rules of the world will be rewritten based on power. Suddenly, the guy screams, "Wait," as a blue energy surrounds him completely. Then he finds himself in a strange place and asks who's there, facing a bright light. Moment, his eyes turn red, and a strange pain hits him out of nowhere. A screen appears, explaining it's a system from the end of the universe, designed to create cultivation techniques. Intrigued by what he sees, the young man reaches out to touch the mysterious blue screen. With his finger on the panel, he tries to figure out how this otherworldly thing works. But as soon as he touches it, another vision of a giant, terrifying monster appears before him. The bizarre creature then shows up, enveloping him in a golden energy as a screen floats by. His red eyes glow intensely as he stares at the horrifying vision of the future. He sees that his fate was to be wiped out by the creature along with the rest of humanity. Back in reality, the young man is breaking out in a cold sweat, looking deeply shaken by the memories. His chest, he wonders if that was his old, powerless self. With a confident smile, he remembers that in his other life, he was just a regular Joe trying to survive. The guy recalls watching his nation fall, and all his people suffer from that calamity. In his memories, he couldn't escape the mutant beast that was destroying the city. Then he remembers dying, filled with despair and a burning desire for revenge. Within his red eyes, you could see the reflection of the monster that defeated him. Maybe that's why the system brought him back a year before the aura returned. The guy knows that right now, most people have no idea what's about to happen. He then extends his hand and touches a light that shatters into several pieces in front of him. With this, the young man decides he'll use every anomaly caused by the aura to his advantage. Immediately, a screen appears and the system begins a new evaluation of him. With a new power, his eyes shine brightly as he faces his destiny with determination. The system then informs him that a new path has opened, and he must collect techniques to save the world. At this, humanity realizes the imminent crisis and that they can only rely on their own strength to survive. The government, for its part, doesn't deny the rumors but simply tells people to prepare for the worst. To do this, they use cell phones to send out alerts about the strange creatures that are appearing. Several people are gathered in an auditorium to hear about the recent events. He thinks the government's quiet approach is harsh, but much more effective than the chaos in the neighborhood. The guy remembers the system told him to use anything, and he wonders where the anomalies are occurring. Just then, a message about Qingqing University appears, telling students to be careful. He sees that the university's UV index has hit an all-time high and a heat advisory has been issued. Around him, people are saying the news is fake and that a heat wave like that would kill anyone. He looks up at the sky and finds it strange, as the weather there is different and the university is nearby. To his surprise, his phone's app shows that the UV index right there is 0, confirming his suspicion. An alert warns people to avoid a university gate with a high UV index, but the comments still think it's a hoax. He smirks, thinking that most people believe this is all just a prank. But the guy knows the truth, and his first real shot at getting powerful has finally arrived. So he heads to the north gate of Qingqing University, which is usually pretty empty. As soon as he gets close, the young man feels the intense heat and starts sweating from the high temperature. He looks around and confirms that there's definitely something very strange going on in that place. Just then, he sees a few people running in terror, but his attention is drawn to some particles in the air. Curious about what he's seeing, the MC crouches down and reaches out to touch one of the points of light. With his finger right up close, he finally touches the golden energy to see what will happen. In that moment, the guy is shocked by the golden light that explodes in front of him. A blue screen pops up announcing that the system has found Yang energy and will create a new power. With that, the young man screams in pain as the golden energy courses through his entire body. A massive explosion of light engulfs the entire university gate. People nearby are confused, wondering if that was a Super Saiyan. The MC continues to scream in agony, and his hair starts turning white. Floating in the air, he wonders if the process is over, because he feels like he's about to die. But the system informs him that he has obtained the golden sun breathing technique. Sometime later, it's new student registration day at Qingqing University. Over at the registration area, our hero's ex-girlfriend shows up, and a guy offers to help with her suitcase. Soon, several other guys join in to try their luck with the popular girl from school. However, the young woman coldly turns down their help, saying it won't be necessary. With a scornful look, she watches a deeply in-love couple nearby. But suddenly, a huge blast of golden light surprises the redhead and the other students. Then an alert over the loudspeakers warns everyone to stay away from the north gate immediately. With a serious look, the girl decides she needs to investigate these bizarre events herself. While at the north gate, a massive explosion of golden energy lights up everything around. Emerging from the smoke, a shadowy silhouette takes form with an aura of immense power. Then he takes a deep breath and his eyes glow with an intense, powerful golden light. A screen appears, explaining that the technique has been created and he has earned 50 compilation points. The guy holds the screen and wonders what these so-called compilation points are for. But he decides it doesn't matter right now, as it will surely be useful for the future. Shortly after, time passes and it's already night, with a strange moon shining in the sky. With that, the young man begins to practice his new golden sun breathing technique. Strong sun shines in the sky as a new energy spreads across Qingqing University. Just then, some students feel the sky darken and cool for a moment as they run towards the north gate. Over there, a large crowd forms to see what's happening in the middle of the chaos. The university's dean gets angry and asks why everyone ignored the warning to stay away. The group then pushes through the crowd, which parts for them as they head to the center of the event. With a serious look, the hooded figure orders the dean to completely lock down the north gate area. Just then, the system informs our hero that he has successfully purified a rank A polluted zone. The guy discovers that the government already marks these zones and wonders if there are others like him. Hearing the alert about unauthorized personnel, the young man realizes that things just got real. At that moment, the students see figures in uniform and wonder if they're from the army. From the top of a building, our hero notices that the commotion is drawing a lot of attention. With his red eyes glowing, he decides it's time to bounce and leaps off the building. On the ground, the mysterious hooded person walks over the energy-cracked soil. Posing stance, the hooded figure observes the scene of the incident with focus. This person crouches down and touches the ground to analyze the traces of energy. Shortly after, she picks up a piece of the ground to examine what happened there up close. With an analytical gaze, the hooded figure realizes the energy was caused by a person. Just then, officials evacuate the students while the person in the hood watches from a distance. In the middle of the crowd, the guy's ex-girlfriend is shocked to hear that the event was the work of a single person. In that instant, she spots a silhouette leaping away and wonders if that was her ex. But the redhead quickly dismisses the idea. With his grades, there's no way he could be here. Far away, at our hero's house, the sun sets and night finally begins to fall. Lying in bed, the young man complains that the heat in his body won't go away, not even with a cold shower. Because of this, he fears he won't be able to sleep if the heat continues like this all night. He worries that with today's commotion, someone might have noticed something strange. Then the guy picks up his phone and sees a trending story about a cultivation association. The young man remembers that before, everyone thought this was just an internet joke. Just then, he recalls the hooded people at the university and suspects they're from the association. Curious about the discovery, the MC opens the news story to read the full article. The article details the cultivation realms from ghost acts to total transcendence. In the comments, everyone thinks it's fake, but he wonders if the announcement might be official. The hero reflects that in his past life as a civilian, he never knew about this information. Sitting on his bed, he thinks about the Cultivation Association and decides to test his technique again. With that, the young man closes his eyes and concentrates to begin his training. In that moment, he starts to sweat as a powerful golden energy surges around him. The MC begins to float in his room, enveloped in an intense golden aura. A light shines on him, and the first step is to refine his body to contain the aura of heaven and earth. He manages to control the energy and successfully shapes it into the form of a divine axe. His eyes gleam intensely and a confident smile appears on his power-filled face. The system congratulates him for reaching the Daoshuai realm and gives him 50 compilation points. The guy remembers the points and reads the screen that talks about a new path opening up. The system explains that the points can be used to imbue compiled data into any object. He mulls over the idea of imbuing power into an object and stares at his mug on the table. Then he extends his hand toward the mug with a golden aura of power. The system asks if he wants to spend 1 point to place the Yang attribute on the item. He understands that this is like enchanting an item, giving it a supernatural power. The young man thinks that if he did this to a weapon, it would become his unique combat item. Soon, he decides that having a powered-up weapon will be crucial for the future that's coming. The guy then finds a small sword on his shelf and decides to test the power on it. He thinks that if the test works, he'll buy a real weapon to be ready for the monsters. Suddenly, a weird noise from outside the building catches his attention in the middle of the night. Outside, a shadowy creature with huge claws is watching the hero's apartment. With glowing red eyes, the bizarre creature shows its sharp teeth in the darkness. The strange creature, which looks like a giant demonic rabbit, prepares to attack the building. But inside the apartment, the guy has no idea of the danger that is approaching him. Lying in bed, the MC feels some discomfort from his new cultivation technique. With his red eyes, he wonders where that rat-like sound came from. He thinks the sound isn't coming from inside or from the pipes, and maybe it's a neighbor's pet. Walking through the living room, he thinks that with his enhanced hearing, it's normal to hear the neighbors. Then the guy sharpens his hearing to focus and get a better read on the strange sound. But the young man soon realizes that something is wrong and becomes alert to the strange situation. The hero goes to the door and comes face to face with the sinister creature right there in the dark hallway. In the hallway, the bizarre creature with red eyes appears and glares at him, ready to attack. Startled, he recognizes the mutant beast, and the memory of his past life sends a shiver down his spine. Meanwhile, a drone flies over the city at night, showing that others are aware of the danger. On top of a building, a girl complains that they still haven't caught the rabbit that ate a rare fruit. With a lollipop in her mouth, the young woman seems pretty calm and confident for the mission ahead. She then orders them to keep sending all updates on the target she's hunting. At that, the mysterious girl leaps from the top of the building to begin her pursuit. Falling at high speed, she moves with nimble grace between the huge city buildings. Suddenly, the young woman senses the mutant beast's aura and realizes she's closing in on the target. With her eyes glowing, she finally locates the creature and prepares for a confrontation. The mysterious hunter lands hard on a rooftop, moving with incredible agility. Running down the side of a building, she receives the order to pursue the target at all costs. With a firm and precise landing, the young woman continues her chase without wasting a second. Leaping between buildings, she warns that the creature ate a spirit fruit and could evolve. Just then, a man working late sees a blur pass by his window and is left completely confused. He wonders if he's hallucinating, but his boss chews him out for just standing there doing nothing. Meanwhile, the hunter is seen as a silhouette against the moon on the 65th floor. Back in the apartment, the hero is face to face with the bizarre creature, which shrieks in front of him. With his golden eyes, he realizes his body has changed, and now he can fight on equal footing. Then the creature attacks with its claws, but the young man dodges with superhuman agility. The hero thinks that his body has changed a lot, and now he can see the attacks in slow motion. With sun energy in his hand, he wonders why a mutant beast has appeared so early. At this, he recalls the things he saw in his past life and faces the monster. The guy knows the creature hasn't fully evolved, and the night increases its power and fury. So he lunges forward to attack, because he needs to stop the creature or everyone in the building will be killed. Using his MC manages to grab the creature with his energy-filled hand. With surprising strength, the guy bites the bizarre creature without showing any fear. Holding the monster firmly, his golden eyes shine with a cold determination. Then the young man spins the creature in the air and realizes its weak point is its tail. Seizing the opportunity, he grabs the beast's tail with all his might. The hero hurls the monster against the window, which shatters from the impact. With his fist glowing gold, he prepares to deliver a powerful blow. The guy unleashes a beam of energy that hits the creature dead on in mid-air. The monster is then completely swallowed by the intense golden beam of light from the attack. But the bizarre creature grabs the golden energy with its claws and tries to absorb the power. At that, the hero realizes the monster is trying to steal his yang power and counters the attack. He thinks the power of the sun is too strong and that the rabbit is just digging its own grave. Shortly after, a golden explosion engulfs the monster, which can't contain so much energy. In the next building over, a couple wakes up from the noise, and the man wonders if it was thunder. He then goes to the window to check but finds nothing out of the ordinary outside. Our hero lands on the floor, surrounded by remnants of his golden energy. The young man reflects that the thing was like a starving ghost trying to devour his power. After the fight, the monster's eye falls to the floor, releasing a weird black smoke. With a serious look, he stares at the remains of the creature he just defeated. Without a second thought, the guy stomps hard on the eye, crushing what's left of the beast. He understands that the creature of the night was desperate for his opposing Yang-type power. The young man imagines that if he were normal, the monster would have easily devoured everyone in the building. With that in mind, he knows he needs to collect more techniques to face the dangers of the future. Meanwhile, a mysterious girl leaps through the air against the moonlight, looking like a hunter. With incredible speed, the young woman runs down the side of a building at high velocity. Arriving at the scene, the mysterious hunter's eyes go wide with shock. Standing there in the middle of the night, she wonders if her target was defeated by someone else. Kneeling on the ground, she comments that the target has been destroyed and that she'll try to recover the night attribute. But as she touches the monster's remains, she's surprised by a golden energy that was still there. The young woman then feels an intense heat and a scorching aura that makes her recoil immediately. The young woman remembers the energy from the university gate and understands that this is no coincidence. Faced with this discovery, the girl activates her communicator with a serious and determined look. She informs Base that the target was eliminated by a new and powerful forerunner with a high-level attribute. Over the communicator, a voice questions if the gate purification and the rabbit were the work of the same individual. A man confirms that there are no records of this person in the database and that the association needs to recruit him. Aura of fire and blue energy, the silver-haired girl agrees with the association's plan. Then she carefully stores the small flame of energy in an object attached to her clothing. Her superior orders her to pause her current missions to prioritize tracking the new forerunner. At that, the mysterious hunter calmly begins to unwrap the lollipop she was holding. The young woman puts the candy in her mouth and says she perfectly understood the new order she received. But before starting the mission, the girl says she first needs some milk tea to relax. Over the communicator, a voice wonders who this mysterious figure with so much power could be. The young woman agrees that the president was right and that she needs to meet this powerful master.